In her first address to the National Assembly, French Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne said that the country must cut off all gas from Russia and stand united in its support for Ukraine. Energy dominated Borne's speech, which was often met by hostile moans and groans from the left and right-wing opposition. Borne's own tenure is already on shaky ground after President Macron's En Marche movement failed to secure a majority in last month's parliamentary elections. We're closely watching that speech. From Paris is our international correspondent Annelise Borges. We can bring her in now. Good to see you, Annelise. What were the standout moments in terms of policies for you from that speech?
Hi there, Helena. Well, this was much more of a general speech, a political declaration of sorts from the government. Elisabeth Borne came here with a message of what will be Emmanuel Macron's new priorities and plans for the next few months. So nobody was expecting concrete policy announcements right now. But what stood out was the fact that she confirmed that the government's intention to nationalize, to buy all stakes in the electric utility company EDF. Elisabeth Borne spoke multiple times about the energy crisis in France and in Europe as a result of the war in Ukraine. She actually said that one of her priorities will be to cut France's dependency on fossil fuels. She spoke about climate change. She said that nuclear energy sources should be an alternative. She also mentioned the economy at length and said that one of her priorities will be to address French purchasing power. She said also that one of the priorities of the government will be the creation of jobs and not any kind of jobs. She said that France needs good vacancies going forward. She also mentioned one explosive, one controversial reform, the reform of the pension system. She did say that the French will have to work a little longer. So a wide range of issues, a vast speech of almost 2 hours where she laid out quite a lot of some of the government's intentions and plans for the next 5 years.
Well, Annelise, of course, she was talking to a divided parliament, so how easy or difficult will that make implementing those plans?
Well, it was remarkable to watch how much moaning and groaning, as you said, how much shouting there was in the room while Elisabeth Borne was actually delivering that speech. Her main message really was one of compromise. She asked these members of parliament here to work together towards building a new model, one where there will be dialogue, one that she says will be capable of addressing some of the multiple challenges ahead for France. But honestly, if this session is anything to go by, it's going to be difficult for Elisabeth Borne to actually even make her words heard. She didn't call for a vote of confidence on her speech, something that is traditional here in France for prime ministers to do after their first appearances in Congress. But many political analysts were saying she was right not to do that because it was a risky move. In fact, leaders of the opposition said the same thing. Marine Le Pen, the leader of the far right, responded to Elisabeth Borne shortly after her speech, saying it was a good thing for her not to call for the vote of confidence because nobody here actually trusts her government, according to Marine Le Pen.